From Tia Kemp to Kehlani, Chrisean is not stopping. Do not talk about her man. Let's talk about it. They 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 talk about it. Welcome back to She Could Talk the podcast. I'm your host Gangali. Hey, and that's Gangalee on all streaming platforms if you want to check out my music. But you tell me if I can rap or not over there. But over here on YouTube, on She Could Talk the podcast, this is where I react to everything. I react to news, sports, crime, musicians, politicians, YouTubers, TikTokers. If they're talking about it, we're talking about it, okay? Okay. Now, I'm doing the second part, a part two follow up, reluctantly, okay? Because I did not want to jump and stay in this group chat, but here I am. Last week I reacted to Chrisean Rock versus Tia Kemp, the 1 a.m. morning call, and a lot has transpired since then. Since then, allegedly, Tia Kemp said that Chrisean Rock has got her Instagram shut down, and a couple of other platforms shut down, and she had to start new pages, etc. We don't know, allegedly. And a lot of stuff since then. But also since then, she has moved on from Tia Kemp, apparently, and has now went on to form a 48-hour friendship and 48-hour beef with Kehlani, the singer. Yes. So what I wanted to do was to react into several things that transpired with Kehlani and Chrisean Rock last week. Or, because you know how I do. I like to kind of let it marinate a little bit and then kind of give my, commentary on it. So in this instance here, or this week here, I should say, Chrisean Rock met Kehlani. Well, she knew her allegedly, apparently, I guess. But she's seen her at church. They somehow was at the same church service on a Sunday, and she bumped into her in the parking lot. And she said, "Hey, man, you look fit. You look good. I would like to go to the gym with you and exercise." And Kehlani said, "No problem. I'm going to the gym in the morning. Come through." And she came through, spent some time with her at the gym, and that probably allegedly was enough for Kehlani to say, "Hey, look, I'm good." Allegedly. So what I wanted to do was to react to the commentary, because last week it was about Chrisean Rock and Tia. This week it's about Chrisean Rock and Kehlani. And I may have missed a few other beefs. I don't know. But this one was on my radar, popped up on my algorithm, so I looked it over and I wanted to react to it. So without further ado, what I wanted to do was to react to the whole how everything transpired. So first, and I'm going to put some other things in here too, because it was a busy week for Chrisean. So what I wanted to do was start out with after church. Church Sunday, they met in the parking lot, or they convened in the parking lot, and she said she wanted to go to the gym with her, and allegedly Kehlani said, "You know what? I'm going to the gym in the morning. Come with me." So this is the gym interaction. Now, it was music playing, and you know how I do. YouTube, I love you. So I'm not trying to play all of that. So it may be a little silence there, but I got the headphones on. So if you hear a little bit, you'll hear, some things like Chrisean saying, "Oh man, I should have wore the tooth. I should have put in my tooth," because the infamous toothless Chrisean. And Kehlani said, "Oh no, be yourself. You look fine. You're beautiful without it." But I don't know if you'll hear that in here, because I did try to mute the music, so that might have muted some of the conversation. But let's go. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let me turn it up a bit. So this is them exercise. There was a lot of music, so I try to play it out. So this was the day after church. They went to the gym and they're exercising. Kehlani apparently was in Paris a couple of days later. So
Get to Kehlani. You start talking. She start telling me
so
reasons why
that
she get this.
wait, let me pause it. So that was the gym interaction they had the day after church. So quickly after that, This is the rant that Chrisean went online with. Apparently, I guess, allegedly, Kehlani unfollowed her immediately after their gym interaction on all social media platforms. And that prompted Chrisean to have this rant. So let's listen to it.
She's the one that got the laser removal place where I want to go because that's where she go. She was giving me advice, and then she came out of nowhere, and I'm asking her like, not like that, but like, where's this all coming from? Like how do you like? She kept saying he's a manipulator. He's this, he's that, he's that. Girl, come to find out, she telling me with her own mouth that Blueface cracked that she'll be not like she just starts like telling herself she's like I'm nothing to worry about because I don't really want him, but let me tell you this. In my head, I'm like, damn, what he didn't hit. You feel me? This is why I fell out with, not like that, but Coil Ray. Over the same shit. We still hurt every in the industry. Like, for real. Alright, cool. We're still.
And I be saying, and can I just say this? You know, I have no dog in this race over here, guys. No dog. And I reluctantly have been pulled into the group chat. But I will say this, like, Chrisean, definitely has a way of bringing everyone in to the mess. Coil Ray just had a baby for Trippy Red, allegedly. Keep me honest, guys, right? And I don't even think them two are together. So she's dealing with her own situation and a newborn on top of that. And here you are bringing Coil Ray into it, talking about you had beef with Coil Ray because she slept with Blueface. She really be giving me the vibes like Blueface is the god, right? And that is deep and very telling, right? Because when you see, and even look at her right here, pause it. I didn't even pause it like this on purpose, but even look at her right here, the look in her face, the look in her eye. When you are obsessed with who your partner or your significant other slept with previous to you, and you have to find out every history, that's a deeper obsession than just trying to keep your situation intact. Right? Because everyone has a past. Everyone has a history before who you decided to make your life partner, right? No one is innocent of it unless you was 100% virgin and, celibate, etc. But everyone has a past. Dating someone that you might have felt, might have liked, had a crush on, etc., right? But it seems like excuse me, it seems like with her mentioning Coil Ray, with her, I don't know, meeting up with Kehlani allegedly, it's like you're trying to track down everyone on Blueface's hit list, sexual hit list, and expose them. But why? If these women interacted with him in any capacity before you, that's beyond you. That should be like kind of like none of your business. Just like you have a previous history with people before Blueface, you shouldn't. It's weird to me. But anyway, let's get back to it. She's telling you how she went to the gym and how everything transpired and how it ended up being beef.
Cool. We prayed after that. After she told me that, it sat on me like, so with somebody that's giving me advice about a tattoo, about his face being on my face, but you're the same female that rolled that in the face. You feel me? But I ain't say nothing, bro. On crib, I ain't say nothing. I just was, I went through with the situation like, all right, we still could be friends because how long ago was that? I didn't even ask how long ago, bro. I just was like, all right, let me back up from that. Okay, cool. We work out the next day. Guess who's blowing my phone? My baby dad. It said Chrisean dad. Bro, we're doing reps. He's telling me what to do, how to do it. My phone is ringing. So I'm looking at her. I look at the phone. Crack. Hold on, let me take this 1 second. Took it. I stepped off. You know what I did? I asked him politely. I asked him. First of all, he was talking about his house and all this other stuff. Like, go get the rest of your things. Da, da, da. You know me. I'm like, you crack, Kehlani. Like, you used to deal with her. Like, how deep it was. Y'all still talk. Like.
Making sure you can hear me. And you gotta listen to that too. So she went to the gym with Kehlani and was exercising with Kehlani. At that time, Blueface allegedly, based on what she's saying, called her and was telling her, "You got to get the rest of your stuff out the house, etc., etc." Because I know a couple of weeks ago it was said, on social media that Blueface said, "Hey, I'd rather her go stay at the house so she can get herself together and get the baby treatment." Because he's still saying, like, if this is my son, I want him to develop. I want him to get the proper treatment, and I want him to walk. He's almost two, or two, almost three. And so, if you need to stay at the house, and if I need to pay you to not go in the streets and instead take care of him and take him to the doctor's appointments and see what's going on, and let's see what therapy he needs, stay at the house, right? So I remember a couple of weeks ago, it was said that Blueface was like, "Yeah, come stay at the house, bring your Sunday, because I want him, to get treatment." Since then, like, I don't know, she didn't keep the house good. She had like maybe people over that wasn't allowed to be over there. I don't know what it was. I don't know. But Blueface's father kicked her out the house and then filmed the house in the condition that it was left in after he removed her, and basically saying like, this is why we don't want no dealings, allegedly, right? So then after that, but in the interim of that, I should say, she's over there exercising at the gym with Kalani, and Blueface called her and said, "Hey, make sure you get this stuff out of the house," because this is when that was going, like, he wanted to get her out after she moved back in. So she's telling all of this, and to me, I feel like it's a distraction. I feel like it was like, "Hey, look, this is what he was trying to do, while he's messing with this girl, he messed with this girl, but he's currently incarcerated, so there's no woman he can touch, allegedly." In the position he's in. So I feel like that's the wrong thing to be focusing on anyway, right? Who he slept with before you, or etc. But nonetheless, here we are. She went to the gym, and let's let Chrisean finish.
What is it? When y'all stop talking, like, all that? I asked him all that. I don't know if that offended her, but I stepped off when I asked it. Okay, cool. Trust me, I was battling like, damn, should I follow? I swear to God, I was like, should I follow her? Should I just not follow her because she used to believe? That's kind of weird. Like, like it was. I was happy that she told me, but she should have told me at church.
So this right here is let me go back a bit. This is the response to that. Let me pause it. So Kalani, like I said previously, after this gym interaction with Chrisean, I guess it was enough for her to say, "Hey, look, I'm good." Let me go back a bit.
She used to believe. That's kind of weird. Like, like it was. I was happy that she told me, but she should have told me at church.
So she's saying that she should have told her at church that she slept with Blueface allegedly previous to meeting Chrisean, so that way I guess she could feel or determine how she wants to feel about going to the gym with Chrisean. I mean, excuse me, with Kalani. So Kalani responded to that incident, about the whole gym situation, etc., by saying this. She said, "She came up to me at church and asked to come to the gym. Came to the gym the next day. I thought it was a kind thing to do. I don't keep up with any of this. I don't know when this apartment situation was, but absolutely not the same day. I separated quite literally the next day for my own reason. You can keep me right on out of it. I don't play this at all." So to me, in my opinion, she said basically after interacting with her at the gym, and she doesn't know anything about like when they went to the apartment or not. Now this is my opinion, because if you based on this tweet or whatever, it would make it seem like after the gym she unfollowed her and there was no more interaction, right? So to me, I feel like maybe Chrisean might be telling a little bit of truth there by saying, "We went to the gym, and the gym was, I don't know, connected to your apartment in some kind of way, and we went up to your apartment and chilled in the same day." And then she said she was like, "Oh man, you're about to record? I want to sit on your recording session." So of course I don't play the whole Chrisean rant. You can go on TikTok, you can go on YouTube, you can go on her page somewhere. You just Google it, you'll find it. I didn't want to go through the whole thing. I'm just reacting to highlights. So I will give Chrisean that and say, like, maybe they went to the gym the day after church or a day or two after church. And then from the gym, she did go to Kalani's house and hang out and saw the studio, etc., at her house, right? So, because she's like trying to separate, like, I don't know what this apartment situation was, but absolutely not the same day. In other words, trying to maybe debunked, like, she don't know where I live, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. That's the vibe I'm getting there. But I feel like it did happen. So that was the first response that Kalani had. This was the second one. Kalani said, dead in any and all nasty mess one time and one time only. You don't have to make up nasty rumors and lie on me because I separated myself as a mother and a protector of my peace and safety. I'm dealing with safety issues and didn't want to be on camera nor keep having issues related to my peace being disturbed nor my whereabouts being discovered. I said on the Shade Room post, I wish the best for you and your family. To get triggered by that and to create a disgusting rumor that doesn't fit my timeline agenda and is quite literally beneath me is crazy. You don't have to stoop this low. Focus on your relationship with God and your son. This wasn't called for. So that was another part of Kalani's response to Krishan's stating like, "Oh, you cracked, oh, Blueface cracked." Basically, Krishan is saying that Kalani invited her to the gym to tell her that she slept with Blueface, allegedly. So then after this, it went into a little bit more. She said, I didn't listen to anyone who warned me not to hang with you. I said people conflate my character and come at me wrong all the time, and it made me sad. So I was down to form my own opinion. All this because I unfollowed you to protect myself. And this is exactly why I did it. Y'all better not be believing this. I feel like I got tricked into this. I got finessed. Anyways, this is what I get for ignoring my discernment. I'm telling you guys, discernment is the word. You know how they be like the word of the day? And it'll be like a word. Like, do you guys remember Pee Wee's Playhouse? I don't know. I just watched that documentary recently. It was really good. If you like art and theater, watch that Pee Wee's Playhouse documentary about Pee Wee Herman. But you know, he used to have like the word of the day on Pee Wee Playhouse, like fun, and everybody, ah! That's how I feel about this. The word of the year is discernment. Whatever it is, whatever topic it is, the word of the year, maybe even in a decade, is discernment. And use it wisely. But let's continue. So that's what Kalani responded to on text. So this was right after that. Kalani was, she tweeted this out and put this on her platforms, responded to Krishan's, accusations. And then she went on once again on her Instagram and did this.
What do I gain from this? What do I gain from this? Bro, please. Oh my God. I'm in Paris. What do I gain from this?
I'm telling you, if you've been anywhere on the East Coast, like New York, you can appreciate Paris. Trust me.
What do I gain from this? Bro, please. Oh my God. I'm in Paris.
Popping it like you some big shot calling.
So
Chill.
now,
Like for
after
to end it with,
wait. So after Chrisean did her accusations on live, and I read the responses, and we saw the response that Kalani gave. Like, what do I gain from this? Like, why would I bring you here to tell you I slept with Blueface? Like, what am I getting from this? And really and truly, Kalani is kind of like a artist on autopilot that I like that. Shout out to Kalani. Now, when I say that, I mean that she'll collab with different people. She has her music consistently out there. She's touring. She's a busy woman, and she's a single mother. Well, she's a co-parent, but she's not in the relationship actively with the father, but she has a child. Nonetheless, she's a mother, an actor, a musician, I should say, a performer, entertainer, right? And she does her thug thizzle, and she's in shape. In shape. All right, so thug thizzle. And I wish I could have played the part when they were in the gym so you could have heard, but it was music in it. And YouTube, I love you. I ain't trying to go there. But she hugged her up. Kalani hugged her up. Had no makeup on. She wasn't looking all, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I feel like she was super done up, in my opinion, at the end. And Kalani's a beautiful girl without the makeup. But in the beginning part when she was exercising, she had no makeup on. She was just in the gym. It's real life, right? And Chrisean had makeup on. She was done up. And then she was like, oh man, I should have put my tooth in. She felt still, in my opinion, guys, allegedly, a little bit of intimidation by Kalani, because not only was she fit, she's disciplined, she's in the gym. And, she put makeup on and everything. And then she was like, damn, I should have put my tooth in. And Kalani was like, you don't have to do that. You're beautiful without it. Like, you're fine. Trying to reassure her. And she turned around and was like, oh, you cracked Blueface and did it after. And Kalani was like, wait, what? That's not what okay. So after Kalani responded to the first part, this is her coming back and saying, after Kalani said, hey, look, I had, stalkers and different people, so I'm trying to live a low-key life. I don't want people to know where I live at. I don't want people to know where I exercise at. And I understand how that can be. Anyone who's in a public lifestyle, I understand how that can be. But this is what Chrisean had to respond with.
Paris.
Popping it like you some big shot caller. Chill. Like, for to end it with, oh, this is beneath me, take care of your son. What's beneath you, regular people? Because you live in a 2-bedroom apartment in downtown LA. So quit all that high.
Why would you do that? Why would you even mention that? That's wicked, in my opinion. And she did it on purpose. Because the girl said, I want to be private. I don't want people to know anything about me, where I live, where my kid is at, etc. And then you say, you live in a 2-bedroom apartment in downtown LA. Wicked. Pure wickedness, right? And then we'll turn around and be like, oh God, and be in church saying. But you can't, to me, in my opinion, be aligned with the Lord or aligned with good godliness and doing wickedness like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, the girl could potentially be a single mom and don't have a guy there, readily available to protect her and her kid, and you now made them vulnerable.
Power, popping it like you some big shot caller. Chill. Like, for real. Ain't nothing beneath you. Fuck, you set me up. Okay, he didn't crack. How he didn't crack why did you tell me that you dealt with him before?
But my thing is this, are you with him? Is she with him now? Is she telling you she wants to be with him? Is he saying he wants to be with her? She's not even on the radar of your obstacles to Blue. She's not even on your radar. First of all, the biggest obstacle is incarceration. Because he's locked up. So you can't be with him in any physical, emotional, spiritual capacity until he's able to come home. And you guys can physically communicate and touch and talk about it. Excuse me. This girl's not an obstacle in that pathway to Blue. There's a lot more obstacles. And I got some stuff to highlight. To kind of highlight that, but let's go.
Or he's a master manipulator. You know what I'm going through. Been there, done. Popping it like you some big shot. Because you live in a 2-bedroom apartment in downtown LA. So quit all that high power. Popping it like you some big shot caller. Chill. Like, for real. Ain't nothing beneath you. Fuck, you set me up. Okay, he didn't crack. How he didn't crack why did you tell me that you dealt with him before? He's a master manipulator. You know what I'm going through. Been there, that type of vibe. Then you also mentioned how you shared this with a couple of some girls, and they had the same story about him, and then you wondering how, hey, we all, like, I'm wondering how he all got us. You didn't end it with, oh, but he didn't crack. You just ended it there, like you learned from dealing with him, like to leave him alone.
Could it be? And don't hear me out, guys, because I be rooting for Chrisean too. I root for all of us. We all out here. And I know how it is being 25, 35, going through different things, right? So could it be that she was just trying to give a little sisterly support, consolation, and advice? And maybe using her own scenario, not necessarily pertaining to Blue, allegedly. But just saying like, hey, I've been there. I already know this, and another, and put herself in the shoes of Chrisean based on her relationship that she's been through. She is a mother, right? And was trying to give that supportive consultation vibe. And then she took it like she's gonna crack, or he, as she would say, Blueface cracked. That's crazy. The new generation.
You didn't. Oh no, but we didn't. You know, you got nothing to worry about. You was just like, oh no, I'm over that. So you don't got nothing to worry about. First of all, I don't even care. I don't deal with him. We broken up. I don't care. But the fact that you trying to make.
I don't believe that. Because if you didn't care, it wouldn't be no live about it. It wouldn't have been a first one. It wouldn't have been a rebuttal. It would have been nothing. It would have been like, oh, okay, word. All right, well, whatever. I don't care. And nothing. You do care. And it's okay to care. Because if you're telling everyone, that this is the father of your child, this is someone that you're going to have to like deal with until your child is at least 18 to 21 years of age, right? And, going through different developmental stages of your child's life. You're both the parents. You're going to have to co-parent this child. So I can see you caring. You know what I'm saying? Don't say you don't care, because you do. Because you wouldn't have did the first one talking about it. If she unfollowed you after a gym joint, I'd have been like, you know what? If it just took you a gym situation to be like, I don't fuck with you, thank you. Thank you. Because I don't mess with you either. So you saved me half the battle and maybe perhaps even an ass whipping. Yours by unfollowing me. So you know what I'm saying? She could have looked at it like that. In my opinion, allegedly. But let's get back to it.
And play a victim card. Oh, I'm just protecting my peace. I really unfollowed her because I have a stalker and he found me through her Snapchat and da da da. When was this? When I asked you, is it okay for me to record? You said, no, girl, it's okay. Why we didn't show them positivity? You was cheesing in the camera. You was fanned out. Shit. What are you talking about? You was pressed to be in the camera. Your body language wasn't saying, oh, stop recording me. You was engaging with my Snapchat, bro. I'm tired of letting people in this industry, females, period, anybody, period. It's somehow I be being some genuine female, like a person, to let somebody in just for them to bait me. Because she ran a...
But I'm going to tell you like this, and this is just my opinion from observations only. I have no dog in this race. But I noticed that, like, for example, I saw a clip the other day that resurfaced of her and Blue was like, you goofy bitch, excuse my language. He was like, why you did that? Because that was some goofy shit, you goofy bitch. Why you did that, goofy? And he called her that to her face. It was no blinking, no nothing. And she was like, don't disrespect me like that. Why would you say that? Stop saying that. He was like, no, because you goofy, you do goofy shit, you goofy. And ultimate disrespect. Her voice, her demeanor, her tone was not the same. When there's a man interacting with her, the voice, the demeanor, the tone, not the same. But any woman, I don't care what age, she has that very, very ferocious confidence. And I'm not saying let people walk over you. But you heard her. I'm going to rewind it for you one good time. I ain't staying here long.
Females, period, anybody, period. It's somehow I be being some genuine female, like a person, to let somebody in just for them to bait me. Because she ran a play with me, bro. This is a whole promo... This is a promo run for her records. Like, okay, cool. You used me and said F me because what? Girl. Talking about this beneath you. Girl, I know where you live at, girl.
I'm going to just say like this. There's a song, and it's kind of one of my favorite songs, which is not necessarily a Kehlani song, but she's on it. And the name of the song is Kehlani. And it's the dude, I think he's from Africa, and he's like, I like the way your body is. Your body is just like Kehlani is. You bad just like Kehlani is. Yeah, I know what song I'm talking about. That joint you could ride to, you could be on a vibe to, and then when she came in on the remix, it was you know what I'm saying? That song is at least in my neck of the woods over here out in Florida, at least a year old on the radio and still in heavy rotation. I get in the car and it's like, I like the way the body is, the way your body is, just like Kalani is. And all that to say about the song is that it's still in rotation in my neck of the woods. I don't know about LA, I don't know about New York or whatever, but I ain't gonna lie. It's in rotation in New York too, and the song is hot, right? So I've heard it's a vibe all the time, and when that dropped, it was a vibe. It was a vibe. You know what I'm saying? But I never heard it on the radio. I kind of heard it in the social media, the Instagram, social platforms atmosphere. But airways, frequency radio, you know what I'm saying? Traditional radio. Kalani is in play in heavy rotation every day. So she's not like I don't think she has to do too much for clout is what I'm saying. She doesn't have to. You know what I'm saying? I've watched several interviews of her recently. And just like she said at the in the interim day when she responded, she's in Paris. She doesn't need to, follow up and, you know, kind of chased down Chrisean. And in my opinion, I feel like everyone that comes in contact with Chrisean that means well do care and is trying to help versus get clout off of her because it's not a clout situation to have. It's really not. But let's get back to it.
That two bedroom apartment, talking about this beneath you. All right. Okay, Kehlani.
So I'm just gonna say this, right? She kept on reiterating the 2 bedroom apartment, downtown LA. And my thing is this, right? I don't care if Kalani lived in a 1 bedroom apartment. I don't care if she lived in a studio apartment. I don't care if she went to the room with the bathroom for her and her kid to live in. You're making an effort to put a stable roof over your head for you and your family or your children. That's what's important, right? So I don't know, I don't want to say it. I'm not judging, Krishan's situation, but we know that 3 weeks ago, at least a minimum of 3 weeks ago to a month ago, she was asking Blueface to stay at his house, right? And then now I heard that, the DJ Sky is kind of who she's been staying with, in the interim. And it's just a lot, it's just a lot of like movement that we really can't tell. We don't know what's going on. And I have no dog in the race. So I'm not going to speak with confidence and say like, this is what's going on. I'm just watching like everyone else, right? I'm just watching. But I'd rather take a 2 bedroom apartment in downtown LA for me and my kid because it's just me and my kid, right? I could have the studio in the living room. I don't care. The studio could be in the kitchen. I remember like back in the days, and I won't say it was don't put it this way. These artists that we went to their studio in Jersey, it was in the shower, like the microphone, the mic booth was the shower, the tub. We had to step in the tub and pull back the rug slash soundproof curtain and record. And this group has several platinum plaques, etc. So I'm from the era of as long as we're making it great and we know what we're doing, we're gonna make it great. You know what I'm saying? So 2 bedroom apartment and she has her own recording studio inside that 2 bedroom apartment and she's making sure she's productive to the point that it can furnish her lifestyle and get her to LA and to Paris on tour. I'm okay with that because she's making a way for her and her kid. But let's get back to it. So now this part right here, Chrisean is not done. She fires back after Kehlani says, take care of your son. Now, I don't think Kehlani meant that in a bad way. I think Kehlani was just like, yo, focus on you, focus on God, focus on your family and your son. Like, even in a scheme of things, like you're trying to like exploit or blow up who Blueface might have slept with. That's not helping you or your kid out. in these times, right? So I think that's what Kalani meant, in my opinion. Like, hey, focus on your kid, focus on your family and getting yourself right. Don't focus upon, even if you think or if I told you I slept with Blueface, that's not what you should be worrying about right now, in my opinion. I don't think she meant it in a ruthless way of like, focus on your handicapped kid, allegedly. But Chrisean fired back.
Okay, so say if I come to you, yeah, right, and we become friends, yeah, and I invite you to come work out with me, okay, but I have past relations with your baby dad. It's in the back of my head. I'm gonna end up telling you, okay, but then when I tell you, I start acting weird with you. So I would feel like she a fake. No, like, okay, let me say the story. Let me say how she said, oh, so, Chelsea, I used to deal with your baby dad, been there, done that for real, and, you got nothing to worry, but I said the same thing to a couple other girls, like, my peoples for real, and they had the same story about him, and I'm like, dang, he had all of us? Okay. Yeah, facts. It made it into a joke. So, how would you feel? Would you feel like the form, I would feel like, yeah, you good. I would. Right.
I'm just gonna say this. I have a deep voice and I'm a woman. I'll leave it at that. No judgment.
Because I didn't even stamp and say no, I did not. Yeah, I would feel like you did. Because it's like, why you even bringing up that nigga in the first place?
Oh man, 7:30 in the morning, Rock. What we doing?
So, okay, so all right, Tia Kemp last week. I reacted to Tia Kemp, getting a call from Chrisean 1 a.m. in the morning because Tia does her lives, and someone asked her about how she felt about Chrisean and her son, and Tia was like, hey, I think that she needs to take herself offline, do not put her kid online, and focus on getting the kid right. You know what I'm saying? And she took offense to it. Understandably, she's young and she's, I can't even imagine being, her age and dealing with possibly, allegedly, a severely disabled, handicapped kid at the behest of any of my actions. Allegedly. I'm not saying that I don't know. Right? So I can't not imagine, that mental headspace potentially in your 20s, right? And so they asked Tia about it. Now Tia's a yunty, like myself. Me and Tia, we in the boat rowing together. We yunties. So they asked her about it, and she was like, "This is what I think. There's no way I would have my kid up there on the internet. I think she needs to get off and focus on that." Chrisean didn't like that, so Chrisean got her number, called her 1 a.m. and threatened her. In my opinion, it sounded just like her. I have bits and pieces, so you really, you have to go back and kind of find it. It's on TikTok, though. That's where you can kind of get the whole unadulterated, and even on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You can get the whole unadulterated situation that happened and transpired between Tia Kemp and Chrisean 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So after that, she moved on from there to here, to Kehlani, to go to the gym. So I will say this: the reason why I went back to Tia was like, you need to get in a gym, your bad body self. Blueface took all the pretty out of you. He pimped all the cute out. You're not even as cute as you was when you was, younger and with Blueface, and you're not getting the same clout and reaction or attention. And basically it's like you're not cute, etc. So since she says that, she has been in the gym, right? And she's, gotta get back. After the Kehlani thing went down, it wasn't even a week later, a couple of days later, she's like 7:30 a.m. in the gym with the Game, the rapper Game, West Coast, the Game. She was in the gym with him 7:30 a.m. and his trainer. Once again, where is Chrisean Jr.?
We getting right. Come on,
and also, listen to her vocal tone and her demeanor when she's in here with the guys.
Come on. He like hold it down. And then what? Appreciate it, gang. Thanks for working out.
Get him, Rock.
Let me bring it back a bit because there was some music there. And I wanted to kind of mute it towards the end, but I'm gonna play it. Let's see here.
Rock.
So this right here, what I wanted to highlight here, without trying to be nitpicky, like I said, I don't have no dog in the race. Let's go back real quick. So the baby. First of all, the baby looked like Ronnie to me. My opinion. The baby looked like Ronnie to me. Allegedly. The eyes, very distinctive. And if you look at Ronnie, and if anyone who knows what I'm talking about, look at Ronnie. This is very distinctive here. Them eyebrows, them eyes. And he's a cute baby. He is a cute baby. Give that baby kisses. God bless him. But something I want to highlight here to kind of bring it up a little bit forward. Look at the baby's fist. Now, you know, especially a baby sitting up in his mom's arms with a plate of food in front of him, he'd be grabbing at that plate. I don't know any baby that would not be grabbing at that plate. But look at this baby. She's putting stuff up there and she's getting all her food and he's kissing her. And look, he's not even looking at her. He's just like, what is he looking at? Right? But this right here, the hands. She's praying over, and this is when the baby was younger because he's close to 2 now, right? And like I said, I reluctantly wanted to fall down this rabbit hole, guys, reluctantly. But I feel like this. Some of the things I react to, some of the families I react to up here, right? Their kids are not even this bad, so I would be doing a disservice to Chrisean Jr. if I didn't see something and say something. If that makes any sense. So look at this little boy's hands, right? They're balled up in a fist. She's holding his hands to pray before they eat. Look at his eyes. This a baby of his age would be looking at the plate. I already know it. I've done had a lot of babies in my atmosphere and raised. I know it. They would be looking at the plate. I don't care from 6 months to 6 years. They would look at the plate. But look at this. Look at the hands. I want you to watch his hands. The hands never open. They just stay tight. They just stay tight. She's like holding his hands. His hands never open. He doesn't look like he's focused on anything. And some people are like, oh, he's a little baby. He's a little baby. Okay, fine. Look at this baby. He's looking off into space. He doesn't look at the plate. And this is when he was younger. Because he's close to 2 now. The baby just looks off into space, right? So now, this is present day, right? A lot of people are upset with the things that she does. So I don't know where this was at particularly, but it says Chrisean and DJ Sky in a Baltimore smoke shop after midnight. Junior said, someone please call 911. Of course, I had to mute the music out, but they was playing Wyclef. Someone please call 911, right? It's not funny. It's not a joke, right? But I don't know if this was LA or if this was Baltimore. I don't know, right? So allegedly, I don't know where it's at. But there's a smoke shop somewhere. And what made me say, see something, say something here was his hands, right? Where I haven't had the ability to go and like put together a montage of, the baby's hands. But what really kind of had my spidey senses tingling and just making me feel uneasy is the baby's hands balled up, right? And then in this instance, let's look at his hands. Let's look at it. So he's over there. We're going to come back to it. Hopefully they come back to it. Hopefully they didn't cut it out. But this is her filming everyone out there. So look, boom. Look at his hands, right? And he's still looking off into space, right? He's bigger now, right? You see it. He's bigger. He's 2 years old. He's not walking. He's in a stroller and he's just sitting there. And then if you kind of look, maybe it'll show his legs. It may not. Like his feet had like a little curl to them. But he just sits there. Do you see anything similar from when he was a little kid? When he was younger? He's 2 right now. 2 years old. He has the same fist clamped, and I swear to God, I've seen videos where he's in a high chair and it's that same sippy cup. It's almost like it's propped into his hands to hold both of them together. Is he drinking? I don't know. He has that look like he's always looking off into space, right? And then now he's grasping this sippy cup. I don't like it. I don't like it. Then you got, look right here. This is a better view to see his feet, and boom. 2 years old. Like, he is the size of an average 2-year-old, right? I know babies that be walking as early as 9 months old, and they don't want to sit in a stroller. Especially in a place like that with lights and activity, music, possibly. They want to get down and touch stuff. They want to be like, what's this? What's that? You got to be like, okay, all right. And honestly, you can't bring your kid to an atmosphere like that because you know the attention that you got to pay to your kid, and possibly the attention and things you may want to indulge in over here don't mesh. It doesn't mesh. So I can see where you'd be like, all right, guys, let me get a little something for later, and I'm going to go ahead and head home with my kid at the very minimum, because he shouldn't be there. And, the average, normal, progressive 2-year-old that's on the chart of progression would be running around trying to touch everything and be in everything, not sitting here, not moving, with a sippy cup propped up in his hand, looking up into the sky. You saw the video before. Nothing has changed. He just got bigger. But he's not walking, allegedly. Or we haven't seen it. This is what we see. What 2-year-old would just sit like this and not be sleeping? So people was upset about this, and they said, they basically complained about the smoke shop for having that kid in there, and etc. I don't know, I don't think it's their fault. I don't think it's their fault at all to be like, call them and get their shop shut down or nothing like that. No, it has to go back to the responsible parent, right? But what I wanted to go was there and say this. Remember on when I reacted last week to Tia Kemp and the Chrisean beef? Tia Kemp was on a reality show with, I'm going to see if you can see with my mouse right here, but this right over here is Blue Sean, the rapper's mother. This right here, these two over here, I believe allegedly are his sisters. In the pink and then in the white over here. So mom, sister, allegedly, or sister cousin. I think this is the sister for sure in the pink. I'm not really quite sure who the one in the white is. But over here in this purpley blue, with a tattooed sleeve on the arm, is Blueface's baby mother, the mother of his son and daughter, the first one. Jaden. This is Jaden in the purple. This is Carlissa in the sage pants right here. Carlissa is Blueface's mom, and the pink is Blueface's sister. I believe her name is Callie, and I'm not quite sure who this is right here, but a relative. And they spent 4th of July together. Now, hear me out. Sometimes, right, we as women, we need our women's circle, right? It may come in the form of a sister, a cousin, a mom, an aunt. It may even come in the form of your baby father's other baby mother. You know what I'm saying? Because who can relate to the situations you're going through better than she can, right? Allegedly. I'm not saying we all should be sitting around like sister wives, but what I'm saying is you need a support system of some capacity to kind of get through the rough times, right? And if this is the other side, if this is the other side of your child's family, and while the father's in jail and you and him are not on great terms, wouldn't this be at least a second resort to kind of get some comfort from. Now, don't get me wrong. Jaden and Chrisean had their times, but I also saw where they had their times where they were chilling and they were happy and they were laughing in the same car together. Y'all remember that? So baby mother number one over here in this purpley dress, and Chrisean, which is baby number two for Blueface, was giggly and happy together in a car. Y'all remember that? Carlissa over here in the sage pants, and Callie over here in the pink, which is mother and daughter, which is Blueface's sister and mother, allegedly got beat up by Chrisean. Right? So they ain't really mess with her too tough. Plus, they see the condition of the child. And they still said, we're family. She could come over here because we're going to support her. We're going to support the kid. After she beat them up. But I thought what was ironic was while Chrisean was crashing out with Tia and then crashing out with Kehlani, and not really crashing out, but you know what I mean. I call it crashing out because putting all your business on live. These four were having a sister circle for 4th of July.
Fuck that.
Credit for what?
Credit for shit. Word.
So the conversation they were having here was, I think that if Chrisean needs a place to stay and we, needs a place to be stable for the kid, we should provide it for her to some capacity. And I'm just paraphrasing, guys. But that's what Carlissa was saying to some capacity. And was like, and she said to Jaden, which is, Blueface's original baby mother, she said, would you take the kid in if it came down to it? And she said, no, that's not my kid.
Credit for shits. Okay.
I get what he's saying too, because it's like, just let her do what she got to do to feed the baby. You know what I'm saying? He's never had his own room. He's never had anything that he needed for himself. Like, if CPS was to pull up, where's his room? Where's his crib? Where's his stuff?
We don't care.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean. I do care.
Well, shit, I don't.
I care about all the
As long as
kids.
it comes between me and my kids, I'm good.
Okay.
Stop playing. Pick another bitch. Not me and not them.
Hot little mama, hot little mama.
And I'm gonna tell you like this: I don't blame Jaden. He played in Jaden's face. Chrisean made her look crazy. A lot of people was calling her Stewie. Look it up. Look up Jaden Blueface Stewie. And it was a lot. It was a lot of trolling for this girl. Now, this girl right here was Blueface's high school sweetheart. They knew each other since they was young. They had a kid together. Then he blew up and became a famous rapper. And then she became not good enough. Now, in the interim of all the other stuff, I don't know. But I will say this. Jaden keeps a clean house. The kids are clean. They look healthy. They look of, developmental stages appropriate. Everything looks good. And you know what I'm saying? And she's self-sufficient. Like, she's taking care of her kids while he's in jail. She's not, her life isn't dependent on Blueface to keep her kids on par and on, afloat and stable. So after everything happened and then Chrisean came into the picture and all the other stuff, I don't know. Because I feel it was a moment there that seemed like she was fighting for Blue and she was like, I'm the first one, and she was battling back and forth. But maybe she's come to a conclusion now, like, hey, look, I just want to be happy, me and my kids. I don't know. But Mama, like I said, Carlissa's a little mess. A little bit of mess there. Because she was like, well, would you take the baby? And then she was like, no. And then she was like, all right, hot little mama. But so the hot little mama part came from early in the conversation where she was like, if Blueface come home, you're going to give him some. And she was like, no, I'm not. Starting something. Because these type of conversations would get Chrisean hot, right? In my opinion. But that's what I wanted to say. Let me just kind of end it out real quick, and then I'll give the rest of my commentary.
Come and try that.
Yeah, that was basically it. But that's what I wanted to say. Like, I personally feel like Chrisean needs to really chill. I don't want to jump on that road because I know she jumped down to everyone else's neck who told her that, to chill. But it says a lot, and you have to look at the common denominator, being yourself. If there's a lot of controversy going on, and then sometimes you gotta remove yourself, because then guess what? You remove yourself and you become better. No one can say it's you. No one can say it's you. But I just wanted to touch on that and say, like, the irony of life, right? Like, she argued with Tia. Tia said, "You got a bad body. You need to get in the gym." Next week, she's in the gym with Kalani, and next day, that's a drama. That she falls out with Kalani, then she's in the gym with the game. I don't know how that went after that. And just the whole time, like, someone put up a comment on one of the reactions that I seen about this whole situation. They was like, "We need to see less hair appointments and dental appointments from Chrisean, and we need to see more medical appointments for that baby." And I'll leave it at that. But y'all can tell me what y'all think, right? Do you think that she's doing the right thing and she's on par? Do you think that she should step back a bit? Because sometimes they say you have to step back one time in order to leap forward three times, or three. So take one step back to take three steps forward. You ever heard that? That's the saying. You ever heard that? Am I bugging out? And the reason why I say that is because it's true. Sometimes we have to kind of cocoon. We have to kind of go into the lab. We have to go within and rebuild to come back greater, right? And I wish that for her. I wish that for her so much, because I remember she was doing the football thing, the flag football. I remember she was on American Gladiators. I remember when she was just like she was an athlete in Maryland in the news before she even met Blue, before she even did all this other stuff. She was a star in her own right, and she's not far off as far as getting back on track. But I get it. You have the kid. The kid needs attention. The kid needs special attention. Let him get that. Show him that you care. Show him that you love him by giving him that. Show us that you are a good mom, that you are, and love him. Forget all the noise and forget who Blueface cracked. Because he's going to, guess what? He cracked them before you, and more than likely he might have cracked some after you, right? So don't worry about that. Worry about getting yourself on track and getting your kid on track. That's all I got to say about that. But tell me what y'all think. Was it too much? Was she telling the truth? Do you believe her with the Kalani situation? Like, Kalani slept with Blue and invited her to the gym to tell her this? Or do you believe it might have just been like a soul searching sister circle type of conversation? Like, hey, I've been there, you've been there. Like, oh, yo, let's clean our dust ourselves off and move forward. Like, some words of encouragement that she was trying to give. I don't know. You guys meet me in the comments and you tell me. I don't know. I'm sending praise up for Chrisean, but in particular, I'm sending praise up for Chrisean Jr. Okay? And definitely Chrisean as well. The strength that she needs to do the right thing and be the best mother she can be for her son, And Kehlani, same thing. She's a single mom, same thing. You're an entertainer, same thing. I wish everyone the best, right? I don't think that Kehlani's a problem. I don't see her. And I never hear anything about her. So I'll leave it at that. But you guys, join me in the conversation. Join me in the comments and tell me what you think. Do you think it's she's on par, with what she's saying? Is she reaching? Am I reaching? You know what I'm saying? Until next time, though, I'm going to leave you with the brand. I'm going to hit you with the motto. If you like anything I do, tell a friend. If you don't like anything I do, tell a friend. And from my lips to your ears, I love you, but I need you to love me. Hit the like button. Turn on the notifications. If you haven't joined the conversation already, subscribe, all right? And then share it with a friend. Until next time, it's your girl Gongali. It's She Could Talk the Podcast, and I'm out. Peace.